I'm loud and clear, but you can't see me. Okay, let me try this again. Let me try this again. Where can I be seen now? All right, ladies and gentlemen, karibuni sana. Good evening. My name is Mwangi Chege from Outburst. Thank you very much for signing in and logging in. I'm happy to see all of you. And as you come in, I just want you to kindly give us feedback. If I'm not audible, let me know. Wagudi, I can see you're still saying that you can't see me. I don't know what's happening. I'll try once more. I'll keep trying until you see me. Yeah. Okay. Can you see me now? Dennis Kamau, I can see you're saying that you're present. Awesome. Thank you, Agudi. Now you can see me, and I'm happy about that. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Like I said, my name is Mwangi Chege from Outburst Limited. This is your Candid Conversation. We are here. These are unprecedented times. We've never been here before in times like this. We are in this together. I can promise you we will pull through together. And that's why we started these Candid Conversations, where we can come and just hear people's stories, share one to another, and make the burden lighter for all of us. So karibuni sana. I want you to send your shout. Kindly tell us who you are and where you're calling us from, where you are logging us, where you're logging in from. Let us see. I'll be reading those shout outs shortly. So even as you join, kindly tell us where you're logging in from. Okay, and I will read your shout outs even as we say hi to each other. Kindly. Just write your name, tell us where you're coming from, where you're logging in from, okay? Wagudi, I'm back, okay? Thank you. I can see that you're now in Nanyuki, Wagudi. Nice to see you all the way from Nanyuki. Awesome. Rita, I can see you logging in from Delaware, all the way in the US of A. I'm telling you, the world has become a nice village. Karibu sana. Okay. And Johnson, you're tuning in from Kenyatta Road. Karibu sana, and Johnson. By the way, and Johnson, that name, and Johnson, you should be somewhere in Delaware also, okay? But Karibu sana from Kenyatta Road, Wetland from Timbuktu. Karibu sana. Kindly let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you want to say hi to someone who you haven't seen in a long time and you're seeing them here, you can do that. I will still read their shout outs. So karibuni. I need you to realize that, like we said, this is new to all of us, you know, and so if we fumble a little bit, be nice to us, okay? Relax, just send us a comment and say you like Wagudi, we can't see you, and we'll make sure that we come back. In case you are moving around, you can switch off your video, leave your audio on. We are all learning. Okay, if you want us to see your face, we will be happy to do that. Okay, we'll be happy. I'd love to see your faces. You can even put your face for a while and then go off. It's fine, but it's nice for us to just know that you are okay. I can see someone from Islando. Okay, and thank you. And gentlemen, I want us to take some time. Let's take a few minutes of our time and share, what are you grateful about? I know we have a lot to whine about. We have a lot to complain about. We have a lot to express, but I want us to share some positive energy, a lot of positive energy. Kindly tell us, what are you grateful about? Kindly type, and we'll be happy to do what you're grateful about, okay? Tell us what you are grateful about. What are you grateful about? Kindly share with us. What are you grateful about? Type it out. every evening, I want us to be just having an awesome time together every Wednesday, 7 to 8:30. Remember to tune in to Candid Conversations. Here is where we just come to, have a good time, encourage one another, listen to people's stories. Let's get inspired. Let's get enlightened. Let's get educated, okay? Because the best way to learn is from each other. So kindly, I'm waiting for you to type what you are grateful about. What are you grateful about tonight? What are you grateful about? I can see some conversations coming already, and I want to read them out. Danny is saying that he is grateful for great mental health. Great mental health. It's important in this time. Yeah. Duta is saying that grateful for health and family. Grateful to be able to join fellow Kenyans. Karibu sana. What an awesome thing to be grateful about. My friend Dennis is telling me is all the way from Moranga, okay, to Tuko tu pamoja hapa. Sawa, karibu sana Dennis. Waguthi is grateful for great health, Jack Ma says that in this season, the most successful person is the person who is healthy, okay? The most successful person is not the person with a lot of money, is not the person driving a big car, and if you are, we are happy. We are happy that you have those things. But in this season, the most successful people are you there at home, and you have great, you are enjoying good health, and we have all the reasons to thank God for. And so I just want us to continue spreading some positive vibe, some positivity out there. Let's make each other comfortable with each other. Let's just take time to smile, be happy. The going might be rough, but Danny says, I'm grateful for being alive, well, and for true friends. I am happy to be your friend, Dennis, all right? And this in this platform, it's also a nice platform to make new friends, just knock yourself out. So karibuni sana. Like I said, my name is Mwangi Chege, and I am your host tonight. I have two people on the panel, and we are talking palliative care during this COVID-19 times, tough times. But like I said, we are in this together. We will get out together. I can promise you. Let's just hold on, stick around, and let's have some good time. Now, Candid Conversation is brought to you courtesy. All right, I'm back. And like I said, Candid Conversation is brought to you courtesy Outburst Limited. We decided to put this platform so that we can be an encouragement to you, and also to ourselves in these unprecedented times. We also just wanted to continue with our CSR, which is dubbed Boot Cancer Challenge, where we support the people, battling cancer and the caregivers, and we also support the hospice here in Kenya. But ladies and gentlemen, in this season, we cannot just do that without talking about COVID-19 and what's going around. And so we are bringing you Candid Conversations, and we will be taking us through a journey. We will be looking at our well-being, the whole well-being, okay? So at some point, we'll talk about fitness and health. At some point, we'll talk about mental health. At some point, we'll talk about, how do we deal with loss? And in these times, many of us have lost loved ones. We have lost our jobs. We have lost some businesses. But how do we deal with that? And like I said, we are in this together. We must come out together. I can promise we will do that. And so I don't want to take much of our time. I want to invite our first panelist tonight, who is Nancy. Nancy has been a caregiver, and she will tell us her story. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to take some time and listen to Nancy's awesome story. And so, Nancy, kindly give us your story. Let's put our hands together like this and show her our love, okay? Nancy, please share your story. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mwangitege. My name is Nancy Kaula. Married to the late Clement Kaula. I have 4 children, 3 boys and 1 daughter. I got married in 1986 and my husband passed on in 2017. We had been married for 30 years. So I think the sickness started in 2015, if I'm not wrong, but I didn't know that he was that sick because there were no signs. He would just complain that he had a backache. So we were busy treating backache. And then in 2016, around September, I decided that I was going to look for money because every time I asked him if he had seen a doctor, he would tell me that he didn't have money. So I decided I looked for money and I told him that I had the money so I could take him to see the doctor. So we went to the doctor and they did tests. There was an MRI done. And when the results came out, it showed that he had prostate cancer. At that time, because nothing seemed so bad, when you looked at him, everything just looked okay. It was just that backache that you complain about. So I didn't know that it was actually in its late stages, and there's no doctor. All the time that we visited the hospital, there's no doctor who came out and told us that it was cancer at this stage. So we were visiting the doctor. We'd see the doctor after every fortnight. We had an appointment to see the doctor. Then in 2017, we traveled to the US while he was still sick. Because as far as I was concerned, because we were going for treatment, everything was okay as far as I was concerned. So we traveled to the US for my nephew's wedding. And we made it there, we stayed. Is when I realized that he was very fast. So in our 3rd week in the US, one morning he just woke up and he told me that he couldn't walk. So I had to help him if he needed to go to the bathroom, I needed to hold him and take him slowly up to the toilet to relieve himself. I started bathing him. I started feeding him. And then while we were at my sister's place, my sister lives in Connecticut, Hartford, Manchester, Connecticut. When we were at her place, after 1 month and a half, he told me that he wanted to travel to Iowa and see a friend of his, a very good friend of his, whom he had not seen for a long time. So we took a flight to Iowa. And the moment we got to Iowa, on the very day we got to Iowa, he just told his friend that, requested his friend to take him to hospital. So he was taken to hospital and was admitted there. And he was in hospital for 10 days. So when they admitted him, they also ran their own tests and told me that when they look at the X-rays and the results of the tests, they were telling me that he was supposed to have died a long time ago. They didn't even know how he had survived until that time. So on the very day when he was admitted, the second day after admission, they did a scan on his head because they told me that it seemed like he was speaking incoherently. So after doing the scan, they told me that the scan was showing that he had only 4 days to live, but God gave him another 6 days more. So he passed away in Iowa in the hospital. And then now, to break the news to my children and to the family back home was the hardest thing ever. Even to expect that he was going to die, I never saw that one coming. Even after the doctors had told me that he was not going to live, I was still hoping against hope. But on the 10th day, that was on 28th of July, 2017, he rested in the morning. In the US, it was morning hours, 4:30 a.m. And here it was in the afternoon. I think it was around 1:30 a.m. Then there were the challenges now of transporting the body back home. And even for me and my daughter, whom I traveled with, to travel to come back home and prepare for burial and all. It took us another 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And that's the time we traveled back home. And then we had burial on at the end of that same week when we traveled back. Yes, so I've been here raising my children. My firstborn is 32. My lastborn is 13 years. But we have seen God. We have seen the faithfulness of God. God has not let us alone, and He has not forsaken us. He has kept us in health. He has kept us in strength. He has met us at our point of need. Every time we cry to Him, He hears us and He answers us. And so we are grateful to God. And thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy, for sharing your story. Now, Nancy, you have just talked about for how long was your husband unwell from the time you knew until he's passing on?
It was like 10 months from September.
So about 10 months.
From September of 2016, yes, to July of 2017.
Okay.
Yes.
So when he was unwell, what was going through your mind? Those 10 months, what was going through your mind apart from financial? I know you have talked about, every time you asked him whether he has seen the doctor, he talked about he doesn't have the money. But is there anything else that was going through your mind at that point?
I would never have imagined that I would be told it was cancer. I just knew it was something that we were going to treat and you would be well.
Okay.
Until that time, now when we went to the doctor. And even at that time, after the doctor had told us so, because I had had the testimony of someone who had been healed, I knew even him, he would just pull through.
Yes.
It was just a matter of time and he would pull through. Yes.
Wow. what was your greatest challenge in that season? What was your greatest challenge?
Taking him to hospital and finances for his medical.
Yeah. So
Yes.
taking him to the hospital and finances. And I believe this was in a period of course, the 10 months plus before going to the hospital, right? So it's about 2 years or so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Nancy, kindly share with us, yeah? When you're going through this season, when you're going through this tough season, you know, not having enough money, taking care of your husband, which I believe was tough. But where were you getting your strength from?
I'd say from God.
Mm.
I'll get my strength from God. God's word says that He gives you grace sufficient for every task. Wherever God tasks you, whatever task God gives you to do, He just somehow gives you the strength to go through it.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm seeing the attendees here. They're saying Asante Sana Nancy for sharing your story with us. Okay, that is Nduta saying thank you very much for sharing your story, and Wagudi is also saying Asante for sharing with us. But Nancy, so there's a caregiver out there. There's a lady maybe in the same season. Yeah, you are out of that season, but there's someone else who has just gotten in that season, whether a lady or a gentleman, where they are battling sickness of their loved one, where they are wondering where will they get the money from. What would you tell them tonight?
To trust in God.
To trust in God.
To trust in God, yes. God always touch somebody.
Yeah.
And we just find someone has sent some money and pesa. I don't even know how some of them knew that my husband was sick. They would just send money and to him, and he tell me, oh, so and so has sent me money. Sijui ni ya nini kwa sababu he didn't owe me anything. So when he would call and ask, the person would just say, pardon?
Na pia yeye hakuwa amemuitisha pesa.
Yes, na yeye pia hakuwa amemuitisha. So God would just come through in His own mysterious ways.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, it's amazing, Nancy, because I've been in such a season where I took care of a loved one, and it's amazing. And the people who God uses and sends you money are not some of your close friends. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's help comes from where you don't expect. Okay, and so it's important to hold on. Wycliffe is saying inspiring story. And Irene is saying that God is faithful, and they're saying thank you, Nancy, for sharing your story. Now, tell us where you're at right now, Nancy. What is when did you lose your husband?
I lost my husband in 2017. It's now 3 years.
3 years.
Yes. At that moment, at that time, we lived in a staff house at Utali village. My husband was a lecturer in Utali College, at Utali College. So after his death, we had to move out of the staff house. So there were other challenges coming with, in fact, the pronunciation of his death. My worry was, where are we going to go? From Mutali, we have been used to living, we were used to living in staff house. And now we just,
Mm.
because of circumstances, we have to move out. But God is a wonder, because immediately after his burial, I got a letter to tell me that they had given me 3 months notice to stay in the house. In fact, the notice started on the day he died, 3 months.
Yeah.
So, and we buried him like after a month, almost like after a month.
Yeah.
So I had 2 months to look for a house. But God is faithful, because one of the days a friend of mine just came and picked me and told me, let's go and look for a house. And we looked, and we eventually came to where we stay now.
Okay.
And then after seeing the house, I told her, oh, this one I like. And I told her, here I will be comfortable. And I want to thank God, because whatever you ask God, I tell people, what you ask God for, he will give you. I told God I didn't want to stay in a small house, a smaller house than where I was. If he could just give me a house the same size or bigger, I would be happy.
And so
that's
were you
what
given
God gave us.
a nice size of house?
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Yes.
But God is faithful.
Better than where we were.
Better than where you were. You
Yes.
know, he knows how to restore. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you a chance to ask Nancy a question if you have. I'm reading from Anne. Anne is saying that thank you, Nancy, for sharing. You're a strong woman. God bless you, and God bless you for your courage. Okay, and Kata is saying that thank you for sharing your experience and advice. Indeed, God's grace is sufficient. You know, back in the time a few years ago, I was a caregiver and I was taking care of my dad. It was tough times. And I remember I went with my dad to India. I was there for a while. And I won't lie to you guys, every night I'd leave my dad in the room and walk in the streets of Delhi. And I only had one prayer to God. I said, you know what, God? It's okay. We are all here for a season. And when time is up, we have to go home. But God, kindly, don't take him here in India, because I will not know where to start. Okay? If you have to take him, see, you just wait for us to get home, and then you can do that. Now, when you tell us your story, Nancy, unfortunately, for you, that the unforeseen actually happened when you were in a foreign land. How was that for you? For me, I know it was tough. I didn't want to think about it. It was my prayer every day. Kindly, God, don't let it happen in a foreign land. It happened to you, Nancy. So how was that? How did you handle it?
Oh, it was very, very tough. It was so tough, I became numb. I couldn't cry. I actually thought I was dead. I couldn't believe it. And for the first time, I felt God had let me down, because I also prayed. Like you are saying, you prayed. I used to pray and tell God, God, it can't happen here. You, God, you know we are in a strange land. How am I going to, what am I going to tell the children? What am I going to tell family, his relatives? What am I going to tell them happened? Because they had come to see him, I think, a month before we traveled, and he didn't look sick. Yeah. So what am I going to explain to all these people what has happened? Then even before we traveled back this way, on the day we were going to have a memorial service in the United States, I was involved in an accident. I never made it to the memorial service.
Oh, pole sana.
I fractured my right wrist. 4 fractures. So I was rushed to hospital as people went for the memorial service.
Yeah. Tough.
So in my mind, I was wondering whether I was also supposed to have died. It was just, it just looked dark. dark. I don't even know how to explain the feeling.
Mm.
I felt very alone because now there are no relatives there. There's no one to on whose shoulder I could lean on and cry. It
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
difficult.
tough.
It was
It
tough.
was a tough season.
Yes, and
Regina,
beginning to think
Regina is
of the
asking.
money. Mm,
Yeah, Nancy, Regina is asking you.
yes.
Did you at some point, was your faith shaken at some
Oh,
point?
yes.
Did you ever
Yes, it
think
was.
like, so how did you handle that?
I couldn't pray for
Mm.
a long time. I think for like 2 months. It was very and let others pray because for me I felt, oh, God let me down. I'd already
Yeah.
prayed. He didn't answer me, and he chose
Mm,
to answer my prayer in a different way than what I was expecting.
mm, mm, mm. But it's
And so
amazing.
even to
It's amazing that this far you have come and you are saying God is faithful. It's tough, and that's why I like to call upon people that when people are going through seasons, it is nice. I like your honesty, Nancy. You're saying I just couldn't pray, and that is why in these seasons like this, guys, we need to pray for one another. We need to remember one another. We need to stand together. Yeah, like I said, we're in this together. We have to pull out together. Irene is saying, Nancy, you are such an inspiration. So thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you for sharing your story. You are a strong woman of God, very courageous, like someone is saying, and thank you for holding strong. Lastly, before you go, you have a 32-year-old, some in between, and then you have the last one who is 13. How are they doing? How are they coping?
they are all sometimes they are fine. There are seasons when you can look at somebody and know that they are going through stuff. So sometimes they are up, all of them. Everyone is at a different season at a different time. Not that we are
Yeah.
they are all together at one season, in one season together.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay. So
But
there,
they are coping.
they say that we all mourn differently.
Yes.
Mourning doesn't have like a duration of time, and so Nancy will keep praying for you. Be
Thank
strong,
you.
and keep tuning in here. Next week we will be
Asante.
tackling. Next week, guys, we'll also be tackling mental well-being, okay, emotional and mental well-being. So kindly be here. We will also have a session on dealing with loss, okay, dealing with loss at some point. So I will kindly ask all of us, kindly tune in every Wednesday from 7 to 8:30, and we will be addressing these issues. Finally, Nancy, Rita
Yes.
is asking. Rita is asking. You mentioned going to doctors for a few weeks and no diagnosis was made. Looking back, what would you have liked to see?
Mm. I think even he was not seeking for help from the right doctor, because you just go to these clinics that they have in their workplaces.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where he would go.
Okay.
But
So what would you?
when I look back, I wish
Yeah.
I'd seen the signs. In fact, what made me know that he was sick, my husband was a very clean person, very smart. So
Yeah.
one time just came and I could smell his sweat, and it was smelling bad, very bad.
Mm.
So I told him, that smell of sweat, I don't think it's just the sweat that is smelling. Maybe it's in the blood. Maybe you need to do
Yeah.
some tests. If you do some blood tests, we'll be able to know where the smell is coming from. And I think it's generally with men not to like to go to hospital.
Yes.
So he would refuse. But I wish we had gone to hospital at that time.
Mm. Mm.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nancy. Asante sana for sharing your story. Remember, here at Boot Cancer Challenge, we normally say that we are urging you to always eat right, do your exercises, but also go to the hospital for checkups and screening often.
Yes.
Now, this is normally my suggestion. It might not be the best, but how to remember that you need a checkup. I always recommend make a note on your birthday. Give yourself a present. Give yourself a gift. And there is no better gift for life than good health. So, ladies and gentlemen, kindly, especially men, let's go to the hospital. Don't wait until you cannot move for an ambulance to come and check you, especially in this COVID-19 season. In case you feel something, ladies and gentlemen, kindly let's go to the hospital. Let's get the help that we need. But above all, let's pray for one another. Let's stay positive and let's pull out together. Next online, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome a caregiver from the Gio Hospice. This is a hospice that we have been supporting for the past 3-4 years. Sorry guys, I'm back. Like I said, I'm having some internet issues, but I'm sorry, I'm back. So I want to welcome Mercy. Mercy is a caregiver, the head of palliative caregiver at the Gio Hospice, and I want Mercy to share with us the story of the place and her story. She has experienced, she has been there for many years, and because tonight we're talking about palliative care before and after COVID-19, I know that Mercy has been a caregiver for a long time. So she's been there before and after COVID-19. So put your hands together and let's welcome Mercy. Put your hands together where I can see them. Thank you. Mercy, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here, Mwangi.
Karibu sana, Mercy. Kindly, Mercy, share a story about the hospice, share the story about yourself, and then I'll come back and I'll be asking you a few questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Mwangi, for having me. I'm happy to be here. My name's Mercy Kamau. I'm a palliative caregiver. I work at a ladies' hospice, the Gio. And I've been working there for the last, this is the 10th year.
Wow.
I'm a mother of 2. And I would say that my experience has been immense. Like I've seen so many patients, different characters, different personalities, different types of cancers. You know, it's just so diverse. Now, when I started working there, I was quite young. I was maybe 19 or 20 when I started working as a caregiver, and it was really hard for me. Maybe seeing the sick, seeing them die, seeing them helpless on beds. It has been a journey, and I'm grateful to God that He gave me this chance, because I always say it's a calling, it's a gift from God that He gave me and placed me there to be in that position in transition, maybe from the living to the dying. Since 2011, I've been able to nurse more than 500 patients.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Mwangi?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm saying since I started working as a caregiver, I have been able to meet and nurse a number of patients, maybe more than 500 patients right now, and most of them, 99.9% of them die. It's a really sad thing to know, because I deal with the terminally ill, and especially those in the last stages of your life, maybe in cancer stage 3 or stage 4. Actually, here in Tigio, we only admit, our criteria is that we only admit cancer patients who are in their last stages. The best thing we can do is offer to our loved ones a dignified death. And that is what we, or maybe they come walking, and then it really saddens me when I see them walking into the hospice, knowing that maybe after a few months, 2 or 3 months, they'll be dead, they'll be gone. It becomes really hard knowing that eventually they'll die. But then I thank God, because His graces has been sufficient. And actually, I be seeing them die give me hope and give me happiness to know that they are no longer in pain, they are no longer suffering. And I always try and help them meet their goals before they die, maybe solve some unresolved issues at home, also settle things back at home, maybe future school fees for their young ones, maybe family ties and all that. Now, I want to talk about palliative care, because that's what I do. That's what I know. I've never been employed anywhere else. I've never done anything else in my life. That has been my field, that is palliative care. Now, when we talk of palliative care, it's we explain it as a holistic approach towards giving the patient who is terminally ill the best care that we can. We always say that we don't add days into their lives, but then we add value into the days that they are living. We cannot hasten, neither delay death. They'll die at their own time. So when we talk of palliative care, when we talk of this last care that we give to our loved ones, the terminally ill, and when I talk terminally ill, it means that you are no longer, or maybe the doctors cannot treat actually at the hospice, or when we say of palliative care, that means we cannot treat. What we do is we manage symptoms, we relieve pain, and we give them a comfortable, pain-free life. Most of them don't live long, maybe from 0 to 6 months, or maybe 1 year, 2 years. That's the longest that can go, because I've said we deal with the terminally ill, and especially in stage 3 and stage 4 of cancers that no organ or nothing much can be done by the doctors. So the doctor gives us, and they say maybe the patient has a poor prognosis, whether they are not going to live for a long time. So it's only for a few months that we want to add value into their days. I said we cannot add days into their lives. Now, as I was saying, when we talk of palliative care, it's a holistic approach, spiritually, psychologically, and emotionally. We deal with all that. We need to take care of the patient. Maybe most of them can't walk. We lift them from their beds we use wheelchairs to take them to the day room. We bathe them. We do bed baths in the morning, kuwaosha every day. We do their oral hygiene, the meno, and all that. Maybe most of them has incontinence. That means most of them are on diapers. We also do that. We change the diapers to make they are clean. We also do wound dressings. Most of them have some very big wounds, and we need to manage them and also make them clean. If possible, some of the dressings heal, but not all of them heal completely. Because as I'm saying, they are in their last stages, they don't live long. Now, the best thing we can do for them is just make sure they are comfortable, they are pain-free, and we settle them on beds that we also make sure that we turn them, maybe after every 2 hours, we turn them. And then we also feed them. If the patient can't feed on solid foods, that is normal diet, then we look at semi-solid foods. Most of them, we blend foods for them. We also blend fruits for them. We feed them. If they can't swallow, we do IVs. And we also do NG tubes, whereby we put a feeding tube through the nose, which goes direct to the stomach, and then we use that to feed the patients because we need them strong. And we also administer drugs. Most of our medications are maybe painkillers, most of them, and we use paracetamol most of the time if the patient has not that much pain. If the pain is excessively, then we go for morphine. Remember, morphine is not dispensed like kwa chemist. No, that one is a DDA drug. It's a controlled drug. We only give it for 4 hourly according to the patient and the kind of pain that the patient has. So morphine is the highest painkiller that we have around, and we use them in most of our cases. I also wanted to talk of some of the common cancers that I've encountered. I would say for men, I've seen prostate cancer, mingi sana, and also cancer of the esophagus. That is very common in men. But I had one rare case whereby we had a male patient who had cancer of the breast. I never saw that before, but I saw it and it was quite disheartening. I just hear doctors say we have cancer of the breast in men, but I saw it. Maybe those are the common cancers in men. Then the other one for ladies, we have cancer of the breast, which is so much in most ladies. We have cancer of the cervix, and we have cancer of the let's say the reproductive system. The most weird cancer that I've ever seen in hospice is cancer of the face. It was bad. I've never forgotten that. It was really the mouth, everything. I remember I went to touch her and the ear fell off. I didn't know what to do. I just picked the ear and put it back, and I was, God help me. Now, as I was saying, cancer is on the rise, and we've seen so many cancers. We have cancer of the face, cancer of the nose, cancer of the eye, cancer of the ear, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. We have so many carcinomas, most of them. And my journey and my experience with cancer has been so diverse. Now, I want also to talk about pain management, because most of the cancer patients have a lot of pain, and they are all different. You can't deal with one patient the same way that you dealt with another one you had yesterday. We have diverse kind of pains, and you may never understand what they go through unless you stay with them, and then you get to understand what they go through, though we may never feel what they are feeling. But then also the way they express their pain, some will cry, some will just keep quiet. You talk to them and tell you, leave me alone, I'm in pain. But then you try encouraging them to take their medications, take their painkillers. Some have despaired, some have lost hope. Some of them even say, I want to die. I don't want to live any longer, because they say like this is the end of life. But then what do we do to such a patient who have despaired, who have lost hope, who's just saying, let me die? We don't just look at them and let them go. We can't. We just encourage them. We hold their hands. We encourage them. No, God loves you. We never know what is in store for you. You need to take your medications. You need to take your drugs. You need to eat even little foods that will keep them strong even for a few days. Maybe the other thing I would like to talk about is the last days, because that is what I do. That is what I've been doing for the last 10 years. Dealing with the dead and the dying. It's not an easy thing. Seeing a patient die is not like admitting them or just discharging them, go home. No. We have the processes of death, we have the process of dying. Most of them go silent. They don't want to eat, they don't want to take their medications, they just want to be left alone. Some even go to an extent of being semi-conscious or even unconscious. Some even go into a coma. And at that stage, the only thing we can do is keep them clean and dry. Sometimes when they are not eating, we just wet their lips with wet gauze swabs. We just wet their mouth, we wet their eyes, we wet their nose, and there's nothing much you can do. Now, dealing with the dying is a little bit hectic, a little bit challenging, because you don't know when they are going to die and you need to be with them at that moment. So most of the time, we just keep on turning them. If they are unconscious or if they are in a coma, we just keep on turning them to alleviate pressure, to make sure that they don't develop pressure sores or even bad sores. We turn them every 2 hours to make sure that they are comfortable, and also make sure that they are in the right position. Most of them, we keep them in a seated position, upright, to make sure that they don't have labored breathing, because it happens when they are dying. They lose appetite, they don't want to see people, they don't even want to see their loved ones. But then at that time, what we do is we want to ask them what they want, what they want to eat, who they want to see, who they want to talk to, if they've put their house in order. And then if they've not, we try and help them, maybe talk to their loved ones, show them that journey with the patient, tell them now we can't see you getting better. So though you don't say it openly to them, you just like tafuta some reasons, and just try and encourage them to put their house in order, because you can see they're in their last days. As I was saying, there are signs of them dying. One, I said they develop breathing problems. Some of them will they breathe in, and then they go for like 5 or 6 seconds, and then they breathe out. That is labored breathing. You see, they can't fill their lungs with enough air, so it takes some 5 or 6 seconds to breathe in and breathe out. They also start hallucinating, seeing things. Some of them see their loved ones who have maybe died a long time, or maybe they see a garden of flowers. Some of them see the church. Some of them, they even see, I can see the angels coming for me. I can see Jesus, he's waving at me. I can see my relative who died, and all that sort of things. So when they start saying that, then you know that the time has come. And also some of them, some organs fail, especially the kidneys. You see, they are not urinating very well. They have bowel incontinence. Their stomachs are distended, like kufura tumbo, and you know they are not excreting. Once that happens, then it means the kidneys have started to fail, and then they come up. They may be next to the liver, and also, and when the heart is touched, then that's the end. Now, my advice is, and always has been, if your patient goes to such a phase, such a condition, then the best thing to do is just stay with them, be with them, hold their hands. It's always very soothing and it comforts them. I've done that with different of them, and it really shows that you really love and you care. Then the other thing I want to say is their mind is always alert, whether they are conscious or unconscious. Their minds are always alert. They listen, they hear, even if they can't talk, they always hear what we are saying, because we always say that the ear is the last organ to die. So the best thing we can do, even when they are not talking to us, even when they can't see us, they can't talk, is just be with them, show them love, just be there with them, hold their hands. It's very soothing and it shows comfort that you're always there for them, you love them and you care. And also you can say sweet things about them. You'll be remembered. We love you. You always be in our hearts. You always be in our memories. And that one really assures them, even when they die, then they know somebody loves them. And also giving them a dignified death, then I think it's our duty to do that.
Awesome. Thank you, Mercy. Whoa, what a story. That's tough. You know, I'm getting messages on the laptop. I'm getting messages on the phone. It's tough, but like we said, that's why this is the Candid Conversation. We talk, we tell you as it is. We don't want to edit anything. We like it coming to you raw. You know, thank you, Mercy. Mercy, Wycliffe is saying, whoa, that your job.
Mwangi,
I
I didn't hear you clearly.
Sorry, Mercy.
Yes.
Wycliffe is saying, sorry, technology failed me, you know, when you need it most. Wycliffe is saying that you know, thank you for your story. This can only be a calling. Good job, keep it up. And then someone else is asking, it's 20 hours. How do caregivers like you take care of yourselves and each other emotionally? Because it's like you face death every day more than us.
Yes, Mwangi, I forgot to mention we have, even when doing palliative care, we have care for caregivers. We take care of ourselves. That is, we have our own sessions when we are working. We call it spiritual something. We go and share our stories. Maybe the most patient that you miss, the most hardships that you've taken. We have the sisters, the daughters of charity, always come and share, listen to what we are saying. And we also have the priests, the Vincentians. We have them here who work with us. They're always there for us, and they always support us. Even when we've lost a patient, they always come and they want to talk to us about our encounters, and also maybe and also talk about what we go through. You know, once we admit a patient, we take them as our own, like they become our family. We own them. Then we have that bonding. You need to let go, and your letting go is not easy. Like as maybe one of them mentioned, you may have even 3 deaths a day. And having 3 deaths a day is not an easy thing. You handle this, then you go to the other one. And also dealing with the family. You know, you don't know how the family is going to react. You don't know whether the family were prepared for that death. And then even trying to break the news to them, it becomes really hard. Trying to tell them now your loved one has passed on. and you try telling them now you need to come for the body, because actually we don't have a morgue. You need to collect the body within the first 24 hours. Though we do the last service for them, so they don't take their patient dirty, they don't take them oozing. So we do all that. We even cover them very well, even with a blanket or with a bed sheet, and make sure that even if they took them to, maybe we've had patients who take their loved ones to even Kakamega, Kisumu, that's a long journey. So we also make sure that the patient is well preserved for the whole journey, so the patient doesn't go oozing on the car and also maybe causing inconveniences. So as I said, we have caregivers where we just sit and discuss things. We just let our hearts flow. Actually, most of I would say the hardest time that we ever faced, and I would say this, it's when we lost Sister Eileen Okaran. She was our boss, our employer, and we nursed her ourselves. It was really hard. Now seeing her helpless on that bed, seeing her die, it was the hardest thing. It never hits you hard until it hits you like kabisa, and you see now, like she's not an ordinary man or just anyone who just came in, just a patient. She's your boss. She's there with you. She has been commanding you around. She has trained us, telling us, do this, do that. Don't handle the dead like that. I remember she always said, hold the head, don't bang the head. Make sure that you hold the hands, hold the legs. Don't, even if they are dead, you need to uphold their dignity. So we always have those sessions where we go sit, read the Bible, just share our stories, and that keeps us going.
Thank you, Mercy. Sorry, I was off a little. Thank you, Mercy. You actually just answered one of my big questions tonight about what has been your greatest challenge. And I know I was there during Sister Eileen's times. Those were tough times. But for all of us who, the hospice might be a new thing to us, kindly tell us how big the hospice is in terms of bed capacity, and also tell us what's the process from admission, okay, until you get your loved one admitted to the hospice, and why should they admit a loved one there. Yes, Mercy.
Thank you, Mwangi. We are actually, I would say our Ladies Hospice Digio is located in Digio, that is in the outskirts of Limuru town. Maybe when you use Mutarakwa, the Goto bypass, then tuko tu kwa njia, we are not far off. Our criteria is very simple. We only take cancer patients. That is our priority. Cancer has to be the primary diagnosis, and then have any other illness. You may have cancer and HIV and AIDS. You may have cancer and diabetes, cancer and stroke, cancer and hypertension, all that. And then you may also have cancer with any other. You may have a number of cancers, because we always say that you have cancer, maybe you have cancer of the breast, and then it spreads and metastasis starts, and it's all over the body. We also do that. We have a bed capacity of 9. We only take 9 patients at a time, and we have the process of admission whereby you come. Maybe you can call us or write to us through our email address. That is Our Ladies Hospice, digiohospice@gmail.com, or even we have a number, we have a contact number whereby you can call and inquire on that. But then what we encourage is that you come, see the place first. If you like it, we give you a referral form because we are a referral facility. We don't just admit any patient. We always admit patients from any other hospitals, maybe county hospitals, national hospitals, and also maybe from home. If you then we have a referral form whereby it has to be filled in by a doctor who has been seeing the patient, then send us the form through the same email address, that is cgohospice@gmail.com. We assess the form. If we can't offer the services, we refer you to another facility where you get what we cannot give. Now, as I said, we only have a bed capacity of 9, and we admit both men and female.
Someone,
And the youngest has been 10 years. The youngest we ever had was 10 years. She had brain tumor. And the eldest we had was 106 years old. He's still with us. His name is Jeffrey Mathini. And he's still with us even to date. So our criteria is just that you just come. We are, as I said, we are a referral facility. We don't just take anyone. You can't bring in a patient and we accept them, because we need to know their history. We need to get a referral form filled by the doctor who have been seeing the patient, and also tell us some of the medication that the patient is, because as I said, we don't treat, we just manage conditions. So you don't expect that you bring a patient to us and we don't offer chemotherapy, we don't offer radiotherapy. And that's why we encourage that you come see the place first. We encourage, we discuss what we offer, what we do, and what you cannot offer. Because I've seen so many relatives come in and they said, you are not giving our patient what we wanted. You ask them, did you know why you are bringing them in a hospice? It's because your patient is terminally ill. He's in the last stage. We can't do chemo, we can't do radio. The only thing we can offer is palliative care, whereby we're only going to give him the best care we can. We call it TLC, that is total loving care. We need to
awesome.
We need to love them. So maybe that's a simple facility and criteria, Mwangi.
Awesome. And I like the TLC part of the GIO. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, we always give you a chance to visit the place. Apart, it's only that the COVID-19 has made it difficult for us to do that. But when this is all over, I always recommend kindly just go visit, see these guys who are there. It doesn't have to be your relative, but you know what? Guess what? You just never know. Tomorrow you might be of help to someone. And one of the things I know is that the place is nice. Visit, just check it out. And I know that it will be a blessing to someone. Nancy is asking, do you admit both men and women? Mercy, because I know, allow me to say yes, because I know that you admit both men and women in your facility. Jennifer is asking, where can one go for a course in palliative care or patient management? Mercy.
Okay, now we have facilities and hospices that offer that. I personally trained with Nairobi Hospice, and I think that was in 2010. It's quite some years. But we have Avenue Hospital. I think they offer that. Most of our big hospitals offer those courses.
Oh,
because
nice.
Ourselves, we don't
Now,
train. We don't train.
Yeah. Okay. And but I know there are places that you can get this kind of courses. So just go out there and check. Samuel Mboro is asking. Samuel Mboro has almost the same question with Anne Mboro. I don't know if they're relatives, but maybe not. But the question is, Samuel says it's that. That rely just but grace to be in your position, okay? They admire you. then their question is, have you ever witnessed any healing from among the patients and turning the situations? Anne also asks, have you ever had a patient who got well and went home? Someone asks, have you witnessed any healing from among patients? Mercy?
Now, as I said, Mwangi, most of the patients that we receive are in their last stages of life. That is stage 3 and stage 4. Nothing can be reversed. But we've had a patient, even to date, she's still doing well. We had her like for a year. We were able to manage the condition, and she went back home. She's still alive. So we have one or two who have gone home. But then, as I said, 99.9% of them just go to be with the Lord.
And I know there's also an old mzee who I have visited the hospice for the past 3-4 years, and that mzee is still there. The family still comes to visit him, and he is among the people who give me a lot of hope. And now, Mercy, let me ask you a personal question, okay? But out here to everyone, what if someone came to the hospice a little earlier? What if they were admitted a little earlier? Would it be better?
Now, maybe most of the time we don't admit when the patient is stage 1 and stage 2, and even if we find out that the patient is stage 1 or stage 2, that means the patient can be managed at home. Or maybe the doctors can treat and reverse things. We don't encourage to have a patient who will come and stay with us like for 1 year, 2 years, and just see others die. It really hurts them, and they end up like, maybe I'm the next one. So we always encourage them to take them home, do home-based care, because some of them can even walk around, do things for themselves, feed themselves. They are not like hawajawezwa kabisa. So we always want we want the stage 3 and stage 4, those who cannot do much for themselves, and then I'll be their hands, I'll be their eyes, I'll be their ears.
Nice. And then someone is saying, let me read it out. Jennifer says, Mercy, help me deal with the loss of my relatives. Okay, I lost my shushu recently. So Jennifer, we can also point you where you can get help. Annie is saying, I met Sister Eileen. She had a big heart for the cancer committed, was in shock when I learned of her death through cancer. So very sad. I can tell you for sure, she was my friend. May the Lord rest her soul. But she had truly a big heart, and she did a lot of good work. Towards the end, we are almost coming towards the end, but kindly don't go. Wycliffe Okola is saying, we know that some people might be financially incapable. How do you handle a family not able to meet the cost in card? Sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions. Don't be sorry, Wycliffe. That's why we are here tonight. But Mercy, just tell us, how do you handle people who have financial trouble?
Now, initially we had NHIF covering for all the medications for the patients, but maybe this year NHIF withdrew. So what we do, if the patient cannot pay fully for their stay in the hospice, we do charitable services. Actually, like the whole of this year during the COVID-19 session, we have had like 6 patients who are not paying even a single cent, and we were offering services normally. And I would say it's because of your support, Mwangi, you know, and some of other benefactors.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming towards the end of Candid Conversation, but kindly don't go yet. James is saying, awesome presentation. Mercy, Anne is saying, you know, thank Mercy for the good job you're doing. Be blessed. They're saying thumbs up, Outburst, always inspiring speakers. Mercy, thank you so much. Susan is, let me find this. Susan is saying, we at Our Lady Hospice, the GIO, would like to thank Outburst for their support through the years. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that when we started, I asked you, what is that one thing that you'd be grateful to God about? Okay, what would it be? And we had people typing in, but I want to do that session one more time. Kindly type, what are you grateful to God about tonight before we part? Okay, quickly just type. People like Jennifer, I know you need like counseling services. If you're out there in this forum and you're a counselor, just type out your address and we will read it out so that these people can reach out to you, especially people in this season who need a psychosocial support. You know, we are all in these unprecedented times, and it's even harder when someone has lost their loved ones. Okay, so if they need help, where can they reach you out? Kindly send your addresses. I also want to ask Mercy, please put your email address, the email address for Our Lady Hospice, the GIO. Put it out there, and also the phone numbers. Kindly just type them out. I will read them out shortly. And I like to respect time. We have about 15 minutes to go. Okay, and I want to just do parting shot. But before that, allow me to read a couple of things that people are grateful about. Lucy is grateful for good health. Milulu is grateful for good health. I can see many people are grateful for good health. It's true. You know, the most successful people today are the people who are healthy. I can see Wycliffe is saying, for me, I can say I'm happy that me and my family are in good health. Thank you. Dolly, you're grateful to be alive and healthy. And Ibrahim, I can enjoy the small and free pleasantries of life. The best things in life are surely free, for sure. Pinches is grateful for good health. Irene is grateful for good health and family. And then someone here is saying that I am thankful to God for the hearts of all that serve selflessly at the GIO Hospice. Will keep them in my prayers from today. Kindly do that. Paul Kagai, he's grateful for good health. He's saying, I'm healthy. James is grateful that he's alive, and I know Mercy, Iron Lady. Thank you. James is saying that Mercy, James anakujua. Anasema you're an Iron Lady. Keep doing the good work, the GIO. We are grateful to have you in this country and the people you serve. We say asante sana. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I just want us to show gratitude to the GIO Hospice. It's tough times, but you know what? It's never too tough to give, okay? It's never too tough to give. We at Outburst have been standing with the GIO for the past 4 years. We do the Boot Cancer Challenge every year, and the event is held in October, where we fundraise throughout the year, and we do our annual event dubbed the Boot Cancer Challenge in October, where we raise awareness. We champion for people to eat right, to exercise, to go for cancer screening, to stay healthy, okay? And we also push the agenda for palliative care, for people to know about the GIO and the other hospices in this country, and we go all out to support them. From what we earn throughout the year, we purpose to give. We put this forum to also just say, you know what, we made a commitment once upon a time. COVID, no COVID, we have to do what we believe in. And so tonight, I will ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to kindly join us. We have not been there for a while. but they're doing an awesome job. They're doing a great cause there. And so I want us to support them. Reach out to your phone right now. Just send whatever you can. They don't have a pay bill, so you'll pay to our pay bill. We will send all that to them, okay? And next week, we will actually announce how much you guys give, and we'll be doing that. So Went is sharing the pay bill on your screen, okay? It's never too much, it's never too small. Just give whatever you can. We're grateful to God. Went, I still cannot read your screen on the pay bill number. Went, your screen is not on the pay bill yet. Okay, so as we wait for Wentland to put the pay bill number, because of time, I want to ask Nancy. Nancy, are you still around? Nancy, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Nancy, you're still there. Nancy, thank you so very much for sharing story, for inspiring us. We know it's tough, but I promise I will pray for you, and the people here tonight. People have said that they'll stand with you in prayer, and so kindly accept our asante, okay? And sorry, I was thrown off guard there because I can see M. Mungai saying that I still owe you lunch, Mercy. So that's Carol. Mercy, if I were you, I would take it tomorrow, take that lunch cash. So Nancy, thank you very much. Nancy, thank you very much. Kindly, Nancy, give us your parting shot. Give us your parting shot for tonight.
My parting shot is just continue to trust in God. Yes, and as you have told us, we should try our best to eat healthy and to exercise and to go for screens, to have our body screened. Yes.
Asante sana, Nancy. I want to take a parting shot and kindly, Mercy, pass our regards to your family, okay? The kids, just salute them for us. And you guys hold on, trust in God. It shall be well. It is well. All right. Mercy, are you there?
Yes, Mongi, I'm here.
Mercy, kindly give us your parting shot.
Okay, Mongi. Maybe my advice would be, just like Nancy said, get screened. Just go for cancer screenings if you feel unwell. Don't take it for granted, whether it's a headache, backache, ama unasokotwa na tumbo sana, just go and get checked. You never know. You feel a lump on your breast, just go get checked. And then from cancer stage 1 and stage 2, it's treatable. You can treat that. Now, the difficulty comes in when it's stage 3 and stage 4, when we can't reverse much of that. So my advice would be, go get screened, eat healthy, do exercises, and then come visit us. Come and see what we do. And then tell Caro, I still wait. Iyo samaki lazima. She promised me samaki.
All right. So Caro, kindly make sure you ulipe deni, okay?
It will come.
Caro, don't give
I'll
excuses. Okay?
Please do. Excuses. I'm waiting.
It will come, Mercy. It will definitely.
It's Caro, 4 years now. 4 years. Miaka 4, Caro. Samaki yako amezaliwa.
Nawarusha kwa room yenyu, muendelee na vita huko. All right, guys. The M-Pesa number is 750822. If you want to give to the Gio tonight to be a blessing to them, the number is 750822. If you want to be a blessing to these guys tonight, I know they still have patients there. It's tough for them. more than any time before because COVID is here. They don't get as many visitors as they used to, but we can do it online. The number is 750822. It's right there on the screen. It's right there on the screen. And so we are waiting. I can promise to you guys, every shilling you give tonight, we will all go to the gear, okay? I know it will read Outburst, but it will all go to the gear. The till will read Outburst, but I can promise as we do this, we are not doing it to raise funds for us. We are doing this tonight to give to the gear. So kindly do that and we'll be grateful. I want to say asante sana for being part tonight of the Candid Conversation, okay? Candid Conversation. Asante sana for being part of Candid Conversation. Our commitment is to work with you, and you for the next in next Wednesday, 7 to 8:30, same time. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Kindly be here next week. It's about mental and emotional wellness in difficult like this ones we are in. So we'll be about emotional and mental wellness in difficult. Make sure we will not even change the pin, the login, and so whether you get the next poster or not, we will try and send it. But whether you get it or not, Wednesday 7 to 8:30, make a date. Be here with me, your host Mwangi Chege, hosting the Candid Conversation. Come, let's enjoy a talk. Let's have some small fights of lunch that has lasted 4 years. It's about time. Watu walipe madeni karo. And for all of us, I want to say thank you very much. The addresses for the GIO is thegiohospice@gmail.com. Their telephone number is right there on the conversation, 0736 531603. I'll repeat in case you don't have the screen, thegiohospice@gmail.com. Their numbers are 0736 531603. The other number is 0737 499 600. I'll repeat the numbers one more time. The number 0736 531, 603. And the other number is 0737 499 600. Nkatha is saying thank you. That session was informative and inspiring. Nancy is saying you were to give us a counselor's number. Thank you for the session. Kindly, the counselor, I know there's one here called Sonny from Aquila. Kindly, Sonny, can you put the numbers there so that I can share, and any other counselor out there? Michelle, could you kindly put the Jane's, the counselor, the counseling psychologist number, Jane, kindly put her number also there. She's one of us. She did the first session. We'll have her again later. Thank you, Doris. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Gilbert. We have received your cash. Here from Outburst, we are saying asante sana. God bless you. Nancy, Susan is saying contact them through the Guild's hospice number. They can also share a counselor's number. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Candid Conversation every Wednesday, 7 to 8:30. God bless you. Until next time, have a good night. Keep smiling, keep hoping, keep hope alive. See you next time. Love you all. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Good night, everyone.
Yes?
Grab your buddy, get out of there, walk in the seat.